cheerleaders, it's Coach Olivia. I am here to break down a couple different really important positions in cheerleading and then also give you some at-home drills to work on your back handsprings and your round-offs as well. So let's get ready and we are going to warm up. Today you will not need any equipment other than a couch and that is it. So we're gonna warm up with a really nice leg heavy workout because in cheerleading it is really important that we have nice strong legs so that we can have the best jumps and tumbling that we can. So go ahead and do these exercises with me. We're gonna start with 10 tuck to straight jumps. So tuck being this, straight jump. And we're gonna do 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. I'm gonna turn to the side. We're gonna do 10 lunges. Lunges being just to step out, lightly touch the knee, alternate, touch the other knee. We're gonna do 20 total, so we'll just count our left leg. Do them with me. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I think I lost count. 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, last 2, and 10. Good work. Let's do 10 air squats. At this point, your heart rate should be up pretty good. I'm gonna turn to the side again. Hands are right in front in a clasp. And an air squat is our feet are about shoulder width apart. We're dropping down, thinking about sticking your bottom backwards. We don't want to be tucked under like that. And 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're gonna wrap it up with a 20 mountain climbers. So we're gonna go, each leg is 1. Mountain climbers are in a push-up position. One knee comes up and it switches quickly. Woo. We're gonna do 20. I'm just gonna count my right leg. So go ahead and get ready with me. Push up, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Go ahead and catch your breath, let your heart rate rest a little, get a drink of water, and let's come back and stretch. So let's give it our bodies a nice good stretch. I'm just gonna turn to the side and we're gonna go up tall and pike down to touch our palms to the ground. Try and get them flat. We're gonna hold for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're gonna drop one of those legs back and we're gonna go into a lunge. Notice how my knee is right over my foot. I don't look like this. And we're dropping our hip down to the floor as low as we can. Keep this back leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna drop that knee and we're gonna use our opposite hand. Ooh, hamstring stretch. Outie. And we're gonna pull that knee up and we're gonna lean forward, getting a nice stretch in our top quad right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's go back up into that pike and drop that other leg back, dropping our hips down to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And drop that foot down, back leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Going into our butterfly. And really leaning forward over those toes. Open your butterfly a little bigger. And open into our straddle. Straddles, we want to have a nice big open one because this is really good for our toe touches. And we're gonna bring both of our hands up and reach over to one foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's stretch our backs in some bridges. As a reminder, we want our shoulders over our hands as much as we can. So when you go into your bridge, if we're lacking shoulder flexibility, your shoulders will be really far over like this. The goal is to really be able to open them up this way. Keep our legs together. We're gonna hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And rock and roll. And the last thing to do to get warmed up is just roll your shoulders out. Let's get started with some arm positions and jumps. All right, so in cheerleading, when you're learning cheers and learning different jumps, there are always arm positions that are very specific. So the 5 arm positions that I'm going to show you today are what you will hear most often when you're in cheer practice. So the first one that we're going to start with is just a high V. And we covered a couple of these in our last cheer video or virtual lesson plan, but we're going to go a little bit more into depth with that. So first, whenever you're standing like a cheerleader, your hands should always be close down by your sides in blades. That doesn't mean your fingers are out like a starfish or you're gripping your legs. They're nice and tight, fingers together. So a high V is we just pull up into a high V, nice and sharp. Now, again, your hands should be like a cinnamon roll. You do not want your hands turned this way. So the biggest part of your fist is facing forward. So that is a high V. Let's pull into that 3 times all together. And let's do that to counts also. So to counts, it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So let's do it together. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Very good. 2 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Last one, as sharp as you can make it, so pull those arms up into that high V as fast as you can, and once you get up there, freeze. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Very good. Now, we're gonna move on to T, which is, again, we covered this last time. Our hands are in blades and our arms just pull into a T. Again, my cinnamon rolls are facing forward. My fists are not like this or like this. Think about the tops of your arm facing the ceiling. We're gonna pull into that 3 times with counts. So, hands are in blades, chin is up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Last one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Very good. Now, a new one that we have not covered yet is a touchdown, which is very similar to a high V, except our arms come straight up by our ears. Now, notice that I do not have cinnamon rolls. I have what I think we call seashells. So the cinnamon roll is the biggest part. Now my pinky is facing forward. Now our arms are nice and tight up by our ears. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Good. And again, 5, 6, 7, 8, touchdown. Last one, 5, 6, 7, 8, touchdown. Very good. And so we've done our high V, our T, and touchdown. Our next jump is arm position is going to be a candlestick. Also very similar to the touchdown, but it's only halfway in front of us, like such. My cinnamon rolls are facing up to the ceiling, and this is a candlestick. We're gonna do it to counts. 5, 6, 7, 8, candlestick. 5, 6, 7, 8, candlestick. And last one, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Very good. Now, our last one is a broken T, and this is normally done in dancey cheers or even dance routines. We typically stand in a straddle, and you have one arm bent and one arm straight, and it switches. Notice how my shoulders stay in one place. The only thing that is bending is my elbows, nice and sharp. So let's try and do that to counts, and we're gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. All right, ready. Remember, hands down in blades, standing nice and sharp. We're gonna count 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Very good. One more, or 2 more actually. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Now for this last one, I want you to loosen up a little bit, and we're gonna do a hip pop with it also. So when you go 5, 6, 7, 8, you're gonna pop your hip, all right? And 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Very nice. So now that you have learned all those different arm motions, you can make up your own little cheer if you want, connecting all of those together. So it could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. Oh, and by the way, now that I just did that, this is a high V and this is a low V. That's the only arm motion where we do a high one and a low one. So have fun with that for a few minutes, and then I will meet you back for some jumps. now that we have learned those positions, those arm positions, we're gonna move on to some jumps. Jumps are also really important to think about these arms positions because they have to be specific to each jump. So for example, when we do a toe touch, we do them again to counts, which goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for a toe touch, we swing down for 5, 6, or we hit on 6 and a T. For a side hurdler, we hit a T. For a pike, we hit a candlestick. And for a front hurdler, which we always turn diagonally, whichever way you are doing it, you hit a touchdown. So I'm gonna break down these jumps one by one a little bit so that we feel prepared to do them for tryouts or they look awesome for our game or cheer performance. Counts. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Those are always the counts that we need to jump to. So for a toe touch, before we go and just jump right into that, we do a toe touch stretch, which we stand with our feet out like this. Put your hands down on your knees and drop down, and you'll feel a nice good stretch in your inner quads right there. Drop each shoulder down. Just getting prepared to do that straddle jump. Sometimes it comes to a little bit of a shock when we just jump right in and do the biggest toe touch that we can. So it's good to stretch like that a little bit before. So, toe touch, reminder, counts, arms, and a T. And that will look like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Notice how I landed with my feet a little bit apart. We always want to try it and use those hip flexor muscles to pull our feet in nice and close together as fast as we can. So let's do that one more time. Hands and blades, chin is up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. That is the toe touch. We just want to try and really focus on not letting our arms drift up really high. Mine may have even done that. So there's just kind of a lot of things to think about in our jump, so that's why practice makes perfect. But let's move on to our side hurdler. So the side hurdler, we did this again in our last practice, but it's nice to start on the ground and get a side hurdler stretch in. This is the position that we should hit in the air. This knee is up nice and high. I've always heard that, or been told as a cheerleader that we need to pretend like this leg is up on a table. And this leg is just like a toe touch. And our arms are in a T. This is what the jump will look like. Go ahead and stretch your other leg. One leg is preferable than the other, but it is always important to jump with both legs. So we're gonna do both of our legs today in this practice. And this is what this looks like. So, jumping back up, I am a lefty, so I'm gonna start with my left leg. If you're righty, you can start with your right leg because we're gonna do both legs anyway. So, plates, 2 counts. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Now, also you'll notice when I land, I look down, and then on one, I look up nice and sharp. You don't necessarily have to do that, but in cheerleading, we're always trying to add a wow factor to everything, and that is just a nice, dramatic, sharp way to finish. Let's try our other leg. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Now I felt my bent leg kind of drift away from me a little bit. A lot of the times when I see side hurdlers get sloppy is when this leg is slightly bent and then it kind of looks like a weird like one bent leg toe touch type of thing. So it's always really important to keep that leg nice and tight tucked into your hip or your bottom. So I'm gonna try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Oh, it felt a little better. So, I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to practice your toe touch and both of your side hurdlers, and then we'll come back and we'll move on to 2 more jumps. Great job on those other jumps. Our last 2 jumps that we're gonna cover are our pikes and front hurdlers. So whenever you are performing a pike jump and a front hurdler, you need to be at certain angles. So say I am looking at my audience right now, which is you, the camera. Whenever you're jumping, you turn to the side so that your audience can see your pike jump at its fullest. You don't want to do a pike jump to the front because it just doesn't give it that full effect. So just as a reminder, whenever you're at a game or anything of that nature, that when you do your pike jump, you turn to the side. I will tell you 2 different ways that you can enter your jump with counts like such. So one is just turning and starting to the side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 2 important things that I need to mention right now. When we do our pikes, our arms are in candlesticks, and you want to look down at your knees and then pop your head back up. Well, that's the way that I personally do them. I think it looks best to do it down with your head in like that rather than having your head out. So that's what I'm going to teach you today. So remember, candlestick, arms, head in. So we're going to do that one more time. To the side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Now, another way that you can get to the side position, which I always liked, when you're prepping, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. You kind of do a quarter turn after your clasp, high V, and then your jump. So that's another way. You don't necessarily just have to turn to the side and then prep that way. So another thing to give a try. Now moving on to our front hurdlers. A front hurdler, we are, like I mentioned before, at a diagonal position, and our arms are up in a touchdown. They're kind of like a side hurdler, but one leg is up meeting our hand and the back leg is tucked behind us. Now we can't really practice that. I mean, you could even maybe use a couch. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really work like that. So I will show you what it looks like. These take a lot of practice and may even feel a little bit awkward. But this is what it will look like. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. And same thing facing the other way. Also, I should notice whichever diagonal you're facing, your hips are open. So my leg away from the audience is what's kicking up. Same way with this one. Now my other leg is the furthest away from the audience. So I will do my right leg now, sharp. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So we'll do one more on each leg, and then I will give you a couple minutes to try them. And then We'll move on from that in the crowd. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. And our other leg. Oh, sorry. Facing forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So I'm getting a little sloppy, and that's okay. We've been jumping a lot. Our legs are gonna get tired. Just be fully prepared that when you try out and if you make the cheer team, it's so exciting, but you're gonna be doing a lot of jumps. And that's just only building up our endurance and our legs. Your coaches are not torturing you. They are just preparing you to have the best jumps possible, even when you are most tired. If you go into competitive cheerleading, you do a very long routine where you have to cheer with your voice, dance, stunt, and tumble, and do jumps. So there's a lot going into that. So you have to be in shape, and you have to have a lot of leg strength and endurance. So there's just a little motivational tip for you. Let's move on to some tumbling drills after I give you just a couple moments to try a couple more side hurdlers, or front hurdlers. All right, so we're gonna move on to some back handspring drills. First, we're gonna start with a handstand snap down. I have a small panel mat. You may have to get a little bit creative to find something that you can kick up into a handstand on. If you don't, you can do these on the floor as well. So with the handstand snap down, we're kicking up into a handstand with our hands on the panel mat. We're having a controlled arch and snapping our feet down to the floor as hard as we can. We need to think a little bit about levers. So when our feet come down, our chest comes up. And that's the most important thing with this drill, is that we land with our chest up. And even if you can rebound out of it, that is awesome also. That is the goal. So with the handstand snap down, I'll show you what that looks like. I'm starting in a lunge, handstand, snap down. My arms came away from my ears a little bit. We want to keep them up by my ears the entire time. That does require a lot of core strength, but again, that is our goal. Let's do a couple more of those. Lunge. If we're not able to quite get the rebound yet, I want you to land in a nice tight position like such. Your bottom is tucked under, core is tight. I will show you what that looks like. Very good. Let's do a couple more of those. Once your body starts coming down, we need to think about getting our hands off the floor as fast as we can. So, notice that I shrug my shoulders and I bring my chest up as much as I can. Okay? Give that a try. Do 5 more on your own, with or without the rebound. I would love to see the rebound, but if you're not able to do that, make sure that you finish in this position. Nice and tight. For this next drill, you're going to need the couch. We are going to work on our arm throws. And what is most important with this one is we're focusing on that arm throw that we so desperately need for our back handspring. And when we reach this position, as we continue to go back, we want our hips to rise. So starting down, we're throwing and my hips rise with my arm throw. What I want to, or what you need to avoid is throwing but leaving your bottom stuck to the ground. Our hip motion and hip movement is really important in the back handspring. It needs to be fast and it needs to be aggressive. So let's do a couple and sit and throw. Really trying to throw our hips up as high as we can. You can even look back at your hands hitting the back of the, well, so we don't want to throw our head. Our head should be neutral, but notice how that when my arms go back, they stay in between my ears. And I'm looking at my hands through my arms. I'm not dropping my head out to look. That is very, very important to not throw our head. So let's do 3 more. Legs are tight, big strong throw, hips up, looking at our hands. Foot cramp. Last one. Very good. Do a couple more of those on your own and we'll move on. Now to make the jump throw a little bit more applicable into our standing back handspring, we're just gonna do some imaginary chair straight jumps. So if I have spotted you or I have had another coach spot you, you may hear them say, sit in your imaginary chair, jump and throw. So obviously we cannot throw our back handspring. Well, if you can, that's great. But if you are not able to or need a spot, do not throw it until we get back into the gym. But the imaginary chair is really important. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see my positions. When you sit in your imaginary chair, you wanna think about your motion going backwards so that also, usually we sit in our chair and throw back by landing on our back in a mat. Again, if you have a mat at home, which I'm not sure if you do, but we're just gonna apply the jump as just a straight jump. We always need to have a very strong jump in our back handspring. Otherwise, then it's just a back bend. So, sitting in your imaginary chair, your arms swing back and jump. Jumping up as high as you can. Since we're not able to throw the back handspring, visualize. So I'm visualizing right now, I'm prepping for my back handspring. My arms are swinging and I'm jumping back to my hands this way. Again, we are just doing the straight jump. So, and straight jump. Another important note in our back handspring, and a lot of times of what I see, is when we prep for our back handspring, our chest drops down really far this way. Think about the most efficient way that we're gonna do our back handspring. If our chest is up, our hands can quickly go back down to the floor. But if we lean really forward like this, your whole body has to go through this whole motion to get back into that position. So we want our chest up high, quick, efficient, imaginary chair, jump. All right, let's do 2 more. Imaginary chair, jump. Very good. Imaginary chair, jump. Last one. Imaginary chair, jump. That's a good way to think about it too. You think about jumping backwards. That's really forcing us to push through our toes and make our movement go backwards. Because also another thing that I see is undercut. You'll hear me say you're undercutting. That just means when you're sitting in your imaginary chair and jumping backwards, your hips are going forward. you need your motion to travel backwards. So give those a couple more tries. Really focus on all those positions where we need to be to have a quick, aggressive back handspring. Great job today, cheerleaders. I hope that today was informative and not confusing at all. I know that was a lot of information and a lot of techniques, but feel free to reference this video as much as you need. It has all of the basic things that you will need for cheer tryouts or cheer practice. So good luck to you, and I'll see you on the next one.